Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Folktale. And on this episode, we were going to be continuing where we left off. I don't know if we still will. It says the game was saved with an earlier version of Folktale. For the best experience, please start a new game. So I'm going to hit OK. We have gotten a lot of stuff done, and they have made some changes. You will hear that the grinding noise is still there, but that's because they've done things to the game to fix it. The grinding noise is actually not anywhere near as loud as it used to be. They have fixed that problem, and they did actually contact me and let me know that my walls here were kind of hindering my construction. I probably should get rid of those and then just put regular walls in for the time being until they get around to fixing that. This is a game that's still in development. It's still being fixed, and the fact that they were actually watching the videos and reaching out to their viewers and people on the forums and things of that sort show that it's a dedicated company that is very much intent on creating the best experience for their viewers. So we have a choice. We could go ahead and restart, or we can keep going with this one. I think we should restart because I want to see the new changes they put into effect. I want to, see how things have progressed. That's really what these playthroughs are for. They're not going to be walkthroughs just yet. These are not going to be like, oh, this is from point A to point B, the end of the game. This is going to be that's why I take like a week off in between these videos just to see what's going on. So let's go ahead and go to exit to main menu. Yeah, that's fine. You can save it. We're not going to be playing this one for a while. We may come back to it one day, but let's go into new game, and we'll do campaign yet again. I haven't tried the sandbox or any of those things just yet. We probably will try those fairly soon here, because to stop for a week from playing this game, it's pretty rough. Like, I like this game. This game is really cool.
Men. We're taking the lot. You, girl, where are all the hides from this year's trapping season?
They went to the capital to be sold a week ago.
Listen, woman, I need those hides.
I'm sorry, Kenny. They've all gone.
Grab the grain from the stores. We've a camp full of grumbling bellies to feed.
No, please. Winter will soon be upon us, and without grain, our families will starve.
Oh, be quiet, you wretched whelp.
Kenny, reinforcements from the capital approach.
Take the supplies back to the hideout. You three, take care of the watch.
Aye, boss. I can't wait to hear the voices they put into these characters, because I imagine they're going to be just as good as the other ones, and that's going to be pretty sweet.
The village lies just ahead. From the sounds of it, we may be too late.
All right, we'll vanquish the enemy, guys. We know how to do
Ready
that.
to serve.
Let's come over here now.
We shall engage.
I think this time we're going to do a few things a little differently, and it's going to be interesting to see how the knowledge of what we gained last time is going to play into this one, because I think when I build the walls, I'll build them a little bit differently in the sense that on this side of the river, they're going to be a little bit further out, but then on the other side of the river, they're going to be a little closer up. So let's see, we got a dagger.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Had you not arrived when you did, we would have lost everything. Praise the holy toast you arrived when you did.
All right, so I'm going to go through the whole storyline for those of you who are joining us for the very first time, but also to see if they've made any changes, because we've seen how this is supposed to play out, and I want to see if maybe they've added a few things in, or given there's more storyline. I don't think they really need to, but you just never know what they're going to be doing. So who is Kenny the Scar?
Kenny is his name. He never did well at fending for his own the hard way. Setting plough and seed, he turned a thievery, the rapscallion. He steals what he needs from whomever he wants with that band of thugs. No good, the lot of them.
I gotta say, every time I hear the word rapscallion, it makes me smile. I don't know why, it's just one of those things. I love they threw that in there. So how did you get the nickname, or how did he get the nickname?
Kenny was caught trying to steal hides from the market. The watch held him in chains till Mayor Putenberry could decide what was to be done with him. The offences were so numerous, the mayor had to do something different this time. Kenny was marked as a thief. The scar lets folks know he is not to be trusted.
All right, what happened to Kenny?
Kenny fled town, he did. He was so mad. We thought we'd seen the last of him, but our traps started turning up empty. Shadows in the woods turned up too. Bandits. Old Mayor Putenberry, he's a good man. He sent word for the watch to help us.
All right. Let's see, what can we do to help?
I only wish you'd arrived sooner. Kenny and his band of brigands took all that we had. There's no food. Our homes barely stand, and Kenny took his revenge on Mayor Putenberry. He's alive, but only just. You should go and talk to him.
He's only just alive, but yeah, let's go over there and bother him a little bit. Speak to Mayor Putinberry. I like the name too. Mayor Putinberry is an interesting name for him. So let's see, dagger uncommon, 8 physical damage, and scale gloves, which is common, 8 physical armor. Tells you who you can use for that item. The City Watch and Sir Gregory can use those items, and this one is only for fishers. And then of course 7 gold. Gold is very, very useful in this game, guys. I would highly suggest that you get as much of it as possible for later levels when you can start doing research. I'm alright. I'm sure Kenny only wanted to teach me a lesson. Oh my, we're in quite a predicament, aren't we? And I doubt that we've seen the last of Kenny and his goons. So I guess I can say, will the village recover? I'm in no shape to lead, and the Shire Brook has fallen. Perhaps we could start anew with your help. Food is our #1 concern. After that, see to the needs of the village. Talk to them. I'm sure they'll be happy to help. So let's resettle the village right here, guys. Now, I am going to bring this guy down here to get... Actually, no, I know where to put him. It's been a while since we've restarted, so there will be a little bit of a learning curve back in there again, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and put... No, I don't want to do that. I still have those other guys selected. Okay, back to Noobtown, guys. Okay, let's do this. I am going to go ahead and build this down here. It's nice and safe. It's not too far away, and yet it's close enough to
construction completed.
To everything that I'm going to be building. You know, it's going to be within that range. So let's get this down here. It's actually built already. So let's see, what do they need now? They need to do... What was the first thing I got? Food and wood, right? So they need food. So we're going to build them a fisher's wharf, a fishing hut.
Not enough planks.
Not enough planks, huh? How many do we need? We need 100. Okay, so let's wait for 100 wood to come in. Let's check this out as well while we're here. Open up building. Let's see, what do we got going on? I could always tell them to stop producing firewood, and that would increase plank production. But you need firewood for, you know, your houses and things of that sort, so I would not suggest turning that off. As far as using your gold for these things, I would wait a little while. It's going to take you a bit to go ahead and get that research up and things of that sort. So you don't really want to concern yourself with that just yet. Now, if you want to see what resources you do have, they're up here on the top right and the top left. We did get some new villagers, so let me go ahead and send another one to work over here while we wait. Now, remember to click off of the unit, the actual person you're clicked on. Otherwise, they will be the first person you send to work someplace else. So you just don't want that to happen. All right, do we have 100? No, 70 so far. You can see them actually taking the firewood out of the woodcutters as it shows up and taking it over to like the storage yards and things of that sort. It tells you how much is actually in here.
Attracted new settlers.
Right, where is it at? Where does it tell you how much is in there? I think it's on this page. We just don't have any in there right now. Okay, so we got some new settlers. That's pretty much all the settlers we're going to get for a short period of time until we can start putting some more houses down and things of that sort. Let's see, 100 wood. Not quite yet. We got a little bit longer to go on that one. Actually, you know what? We don't have to put them on wood. That's right. There are berries down here. So let's go ahead and put them on berries. And now that we have 100 wood, I'll go ahead and build the fishing thing. Okay, let's see. Where are you at? Right here. Okay. So I want to get that a little closer, maybe. Actually, let's send him down here. Who do we have? This guy right here. Let's send him down here so he can pretty much explore the area for us, and then we'll have a bigger area to put that down and just, you know, be able to fit it in where we actually want it rather than where it just kind of fits in at the moment. So let's see, we got a little decent amount of area over here. Now it does have to be somewhere flat, however, so you may think you got a lot of area over here, and then when you finally get down here, you're like, it doesn't really fit in very well. So let's do... No, we're going to do it down here, I think, because this is going to not chop down any of the trees, and it leaves plenty of space for building other buildings like houses and things down here at a later date. So there we go. We got that one done. Actually, it's not done yet. Our free villager, whoever that might be, and I think it's this one right here, is going to go down there as soon as they eat something. So they're eating. You can see we have no food up here, no carrots, no salmon steaks, and we have no where are the berries actually? Does it show berries? I know it shows it in your inventory. Okay, so we got 30 berries. Just doesn't show them up here. I wonder why they did that. Am I looking at it right? Because I may not be looking at this right. There's been times where I was like, why don't they show a little button for the peons? Well, it's right over here. I didn't even see it. And it shows you which peons aren't doing anything, or peasants, whichever one you want to refer to them as. There may be a way to see how many berries you have. I think it would be worth it for you to just have a tab, whether it's just for food, just like give you an overall food count, whether it doesn't really need to be detailed. It doesn't. I like having to show me how many carrots and how many salmon steaks and bread and meat pies, because those do make a difference. But berries, I guess they didn't really put that in there because it's a source that doesn't last for long. Like they mine all those resources in those berry bushes, and then that's it. They move on to the next one, and once all those are gone, they have nothing left to get. So that's when you want to go ahead and start assigning people over here to this one.
Okay. Training this person will leave you without any peasants.
So we're just going to put 3 people in there for now. I think the last peasant actually is going to keep collecting berries, which I'm fine with. And at some point, I need to come over here. So let's actually send this little soldier guy right over here, so that when I have the wood, I'm going to go ahead and get some stone, because I do want to go ahead and save up a little bit of it so that I can start building some walls. Walls are very important. You don't want to get too far into the game without them, because if you do, you're going to be kind of sorry. The spiders over here, they spawn like crazy, guys. You would not believe how fast spiders spawn. And I'm going to go with the small walls. I don't think I need to go with the supersized walls, but sometimes I might have to do it because stone is a little bit easier to get than wood, to be honest. And yeah, I'll probably go with stone on that one. I'll probably go with the level 3 walls, but I'll do it one at a time. And if it messes up, then I'll just demolish it and do it again, instead of doing like an entire stretch and just expecting it all to get done. Let's see, okay, where is it? Stone Cutter's Lodge, right over here somewhere. Let's see, can I fit it in there? Of course, you can always scroll it around. You can use your scroll wheel to turn the angle at which the building is sitting to get it in there just right. Now you can see when you put the building down, if there's trees there, it's going to destroy the trees. So you may not want to do that. This map has plenty of resources on it. The trees do grow back. They plant their own trees and they put like little seedlings down and things of that sort. But at some point, the area will be pretty much deforested to the point where you don't really see any trees anymore. You might have to go a little further out to get to that. But if you leave space, if you don't clutter it all up with buildings, you should still have a decent amount where they can put the trees down. You should be fine. However, if you're playing on a map maybe down in the future where resources are very limited, you definitely want to have it where you mine all this stuff before you chop it all down or get rid of it. Same thing for these resources right here. These things can be mined. Some of it's stone, some of it's iron and things of that sort. You want to get those when you can. It clears up the area, and of course then you can put more stuff down without losing that. So let's see, what do I got going on up here? Let's see, civics. Okay, food, rationing, and taxes, they are happy. So I'm giving them average food right now. I could give them more if I have more to give, and it would raise their happiness, which means then I could raise the taxes on them. Taxes is a little bit below average, so let's put that on average and see what happens. Okay, 2. Really, the only thing that happens there is a population expansion won't go up as quickly, but as long as it's in the green, they are still happy. You will still get another citizen. It just takes a little bit longer for that to happen. At the moment, though, I kind of need the extra gold, because gold, you're not going to want it now, but when you want it, you don't want to have to sit there and wait for it. So I want to build that up, a nice, solid amount of that stuff before it's too late. Now let's see, we need to build another house, because we're just not going to get any more people until we do, because we're not going to be able to upgrade these buildings anytime soon. So let's see, can I get this in there? You want to make sure you take every square foot
has been constructed
that you possibly can get your hands on. Don't miss out on even the slightest amount, because you really don't have a lot of space to work with once you start expanding your village to be really, really big. Yeah, you could go a little further out here where it's not as safe and the walls don't really surround it. You can do that, but if you want the walls to, protect your base as much as possible, you're gonna want that extra protection, from just extra space, I should say, not that extra protection. The walls are giving you that extra protection, but you want that extra space. So move them around, try to find the optimal position. Not always the easiest thing to do, And the more time you spend on it, usually the
Training
better
this
off it's
person
going to
will
be.
leave you without any peasants.
And some buildings are actually smaller or wider or longer than other ones. So once you start getting a feel for what the buildings look like and how they fit into the grand scheme of the game, and when you're going to need them, you can actually start planning things ahead. And you can see over here, the guys are actually fishing, guys. This is beautiful. You can see the little fish in the river itself, the river flowing down. Now you'll see he's catching baskets of fish over here. He will eventually get to his limit and start taking the fish back to his base over here, but he doesn't need to fish again. All he needs to do is go back and pick up the basket of fish, and once he's a high enough level, he'll start collecting more and more of these baskets. I think it's like 1 for every level, so he's level 2 plus the original one that he would have got, so there would be 3 baskets there. At level 3, I think there's 4 baskets, and so on and so forth. So at some point, they get really, really efficient at what they're doing, and you kind of want to leave them in the same job for as long as possible. Let them, you know, rank that level up. Although I think the highest I saw was like level 4, maybe 5 on a skill. I don't know if they can go higher than that at the moment, but if they can't, that might be a... Sir Kenny and his brigands have returned. You must protect us.
Find me those hides, boys! It's payback!
Alright, so he's coming
What
for
would you have me
revenge.
do?
Let's get over here before he kills all my guys. We'll do shield bash, we'll do taunt. That way he's not attacking anybody else. And you'll see...
Construction completed.
Actually, let's go ahead and level him up. We want to give him a little bit more mind so he can use some more of these spells. Do a couple into mind so he has the abilities to use, or he has the power to use the abilities, I should say. And then, of course, give him a couple into his health and things of that sort so that he can actually survive the fights. Now, it looks like everybody's doing fairly well here. Nobody is dying. Let me go ahead and kill this guy. Come on, kill his little dude. Now, if you kill just Kenny himself, you're not actually killing him anyways, and really all that does is in the fight. So you may miss out on a little bit of loot if you do that.
Scum. I need those hides! I shall return with all my men and level this village to the ground. Mark my words.
I thought the guy over there with the axe was about to use it on Kenny. I was like, that's new. I fear Kenny may never relent unless we act with force. Take a company of the watch and track Kenny into the woods. Find his hideout and do what must be put an end to this once and for all. Okay, so we're going to do that, guys. We're definitely going to do that at some point down the road. We're not going to do it just yet. So we got chainmail gloves. Sir Gregory can wear those. Chainmail vest, and Sir Gregory can wear those. We're getting actually some pretty decent loot. A little bit more than we got last time. But again, I think it's just a little bit random on what you get and when you get it. So let's see. Let's go ahead and level him up again. We'll go into our inventory. I guess we will put those on.
Settlers
I'll
have
drag it
arrived,
in.
looking for a fresh start.
Give him some gloves. He's going to take hits a little bit better than he normally would. Let's see. Scale gloves, 8. These are 6, so we're going to give him these instead. There we go. And that looks like all we can give him. If we go into the City Watch guys, we can give them a few pieces too. But if you lose those guys, you lose that armor as well, I think. So we're going to hold off on that. Let's put you guys on stone now that we got you in
Training
here.
this person will leave you without any peasants.
Alright, we got the good stone. We got a good amount of wood coming in. Let's see how much food. We got 276 food, plus another 80 berries that they collected. Fish, they have to cut that up and make it into the steaks, so you don't really want to count that. How much firewood we got? We got a decent amount of firewood too. Okay, so I can come up here into civics. I think I'm going to give them a little bit more food, give them a little bit more firewood, and then raise their taxes up to full so we can start getting that money just rolling in. And
New villagers have arrived.
for those of you who want to know what the money is really used for, go into your options for a building and you'll see the research they got. So
New settlers have arrived.
you can see for sawmill, we can speed up production. We can get extra planks, 5 extra, a little faster, 5 extra firewood, and we can get expanded borders, which will extend the amount of range that these things have so they can chop more trees down. You can do that with pretty much every building that does something. Houses, you can only upgrade. You can't really research better stuff in them. These hunting lodges, you can research stuff, and the fishing lodges, you can research stuff. Same thing with these mining lodges, you can research stuff. So definitely worth it for you to do that. The trees, I think you should always have that maxed with as many people as you possibly can. that one seems to make the biggest difference. Like it's like one of the base resources. It is a base resource, but it's like the base resource. You're going to use wood in almost everything that you do in this game. Same thing with, stone and iron kind of are interchangeable. Sometimes you use iron a lot, sometimes you use stone a lot. Wood, though, is pretty much always there. Food, as you increase your population, you're going to be using more and more food. So you kind of have to watch this. If you start right now and you're like, oh, I'm making plenty of food. In fact, I'm making an extra, like 100 extra every, 5-10 minutes. That's perfectly fine for now. But when you double your amount of population, all of a sudden you're not making an extra 100 per, 4 or 5 minutes. You're losing an extra 100 for every 4 or 5 minutes. And that's what this thing maxed out. So you may have to come in here and you may have to upgrade it so that you get a little bit faster on the food. You get, more production with those. I think it increases the range as well down the road and things of that sort. So definitely worthwhile to keep an eye on that. And if the food for the Fisher Hut isn't keeping up with it, you may find that you want to either build another one or, better yet, expand into a different type of food like bread making and carrots for the farm and things of that sort. Because the more variety you have in your food diet, the happier your citizens are going to be. So, if you got to increase it anyways, you might as well increase it into a different aspect. You can see right here I'm getting 20 gold for every single cottage because there's 5 people in each one. Now, if I increase that by building another hut, that would still allow me to do some pretty nice stuff, which I think I might actually do. But I don't want to go past 120 on culture before I am ready to build the houses. So we're going to take our soldiers and have them come over here and start looking around, because there are some enemies on the map that aren't really, part of this story. Like there's spiders on the map that will attack your troops. There boars, wild boars on the map. There's, bears and things of that sort that are on the map. Those things will attack your guys, but they're not going to start a storyline. They're not going to be something like a main creature that you have to kill. There is a main creature over here in this area. Let's go ahead and kill these things off real quick. We'll go ahead and do a power slam. Normally, I don't do power slam, but in an area effect, with 3 or 4 mobs, that's the thing to use. Leather and raw meat. I need to put one guy, if we have it. I don't think we do at the moment, but I need to put one guy on hunting animals, because that's where you start getting meat, and that's where you start getting leather, and at a later level, or a later advancement period, I should say, we're going to want a decent amount of those, and it takes a while to build up. So having one guy on it from the very beginning is going to help you out. Now you can see a little bit right there. Those are the spiders that I was talking about. They can definitely be a nuisance. Actually, let's come up here, and I will drag a... I think I'll drag a wall across this area up here, because they won't be able to get past this area, and I think I should be fine with that. Let's do this. Can they get over here? Can you walk across? No, you can't walk across. Alright, so if I could just bring it right up to the river, they should be perfectly fine. Now, this is getting into the dangerous territory of going where I know I don't need to be going just yet, but I want to look around real quick. So let's go ahead and kill these bears off. Let's do shield bash to go ahead and stun them. You can see he's stunned a little bit. We're going to go ahead and kill the other bear. We're actually not taking very much damage, to be honest. Now, one of the best spells or best abilities that I like is this decisive victory. When he's below, 30% health, you use it and it instantly kills them. So that's really, really nice to have.
Okay.
I would definitely suggest, putting a couple points into that, because it's going to be very, very much worth it for you to have that. Now, we're not going to go up there just yet. It's a little too close to all the stuff that's going on. Let's go ahead and do area effect, and we'll do iron skin for the extra defense since we're fighting like 3 guys at once. We'll do taunt to make sure they're all on my main guy and not on my little soldiers who really can't take the damage. Now, while you're doing this, your guys are still over there prospering. They're still collecting money for rent. So your taxes, look at that, I'm already up to 1,100. The wood is still being collected. The stone is being collected. Everything's being collected at the moment. The only thing that's not happening is your culture rating is not going up. And now, I've mentioned that before earlier in this episode. The culture rating will decide what your people need. So Later on at levels, they may need clothing, they may need beer, like mead. They want these extra resources because civilization has gotten better, and they want to kind of go with it. So Undead Ring is rare. I don't know what the Undead Ring does, but we'll definitely give it to them. Let's go into, what is this? Select whole party as a group, okay. Automatic follow hero, we don't really have to do that, but that's kind of nice. Let's go into our inventory, let's give him the ring. And, yeah, it might do something, it might not, it might just be a ring.
Called.
Automatically select, there we go.
As you wish.
Well, come on. Okay, well, I don't know about that. Maybe just if you click on him, it automatically selects it. Let's bring him down. We're going to avoid this area as well because that is another point that kind of spawns things. And I might be giving some of you guys a little bit more information than you might want. You kind of want to learn this stuff as you go along. Others may want to know that because it does spawn something whether you want it to or not when you get there. Let me go back to walls. Okay, so they took out the other walls. It's just the tier 1 walls. I know they said they were going to, and I guess they finally did. So let's see, can we put this? We'll put this right here. How far can we take it? That's going to get us into a fight right there, but we'll definitely keep going as far as we can. Right there seems good. Wow, that's going to be a long freaking wall. I've never made one that long before. And then this stone right here is going to get in the way. So we'll definitely have to chop some of that stone down, get some of our stone workers over there. But now, because we do got gold, we can go ahead and start upgrading some stuff. And upgrading, I'm going to go with wood first because, like I said, that's pretty much primary. We're going to expand the border so they have more room to work, which means they can leave this area in the center a little bit more alone and go a little further out if they want to. And they definitely will want to here very, very soon. Do I have enough to give this guy? Yes, I do. Okay, now that our town is developing, villagers will soon start... Oh, crap. Because I upgraded, it went up. We'll start demanding basic clothing. We should make preparations with the Weaver Hut and Tailor's Emporium. Okay, I get the hint. So, I did not want to do that yet. I wanted to finish the wall. And let's actually do that real quick because we got to get that going. We got to get that wall in there, whether we want to or not. Do we not have the wood for it? I mean, what's... Oh, we're trapped on like all sides by stone, right? That's what it is. We just have to get somebody to chop that stone down. Well, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We're going to build a house. We're going to build a house, get a few more people in here. And we'll definitely take care of that, but we got to get the farm stuff starting to go because that's pretty big, and we'll have to worry about doing the walls in between this version of the culture rating and the next one. All right, so we got that going. Let's see, we need to build a windmill, right? Clothing is what he wants. A weaver hut to harvest cotton from a cotton field. Okay, so that's what we need is a cotton field. I believe it was a windmill. Flour and carrots, bakery. No, that wasn't it. What was it? What is it? A herb field? No, that wasn't it. Cotton field. Okay, cotton field can be placed next to weavers. Okay, so weaver is what I needed to build. Man, it's been forever since I played. I feel so stupid. Stone. We don't have enough stone yet. Okay, let's give it a time. Let that stone go up. Now we got enough stone. Let's do the weaver hut. You do want some room around this, but you want it close enough to the storage yard that you can get over there to it. In fact, let's put it down here. I never put one down here before, and I think this might be a good spot for it. It's nice, and I don't know if it will be a nice spot, but we're gonna try it. It has space around it at the very least. And let's see, a cotton field, 25 wood a piece. Can we put one here? We can put one here. As soon as that guy... Actually, I don't think the guy was getting in the way. Let's do one there. See if we can do a couple over here. We can get it as close as possible. Right in there. And I think I'm going to go with 3 to start with. And then down the road, I may go ahead and expand it a little bit. And you see, they don't even need to be right next to it. You can see the circle of influence that it's capable of being next to. And you can go as far out from that as possible from the building as long as it's within that circle of influence. So let's find the perfect spot for it. I think it's going to be right next to it, actually. So that's going to be 3 fields, which is good for me. I think that's out of the way. It's a nice little area, and I should have at least 1 construction worker going down there to do that and build a house. So I just got to give it a little bit of time. Now, they do start you off with a little bit of clothing so that your guys, when they start wanting it, don't immediately start rioting in the street and saying, why haven't you given me any clothing? I've been asking for that for a while now. And we're going to go ahead and put some crossbows in here. You want to aim it towards where you think the enemies are. There's one right over there, so I'm going to aim one in that direction. And then I'm going to go ahead and aim another one in this direction. And we can do one more just in case they make it inside of our town. No? No, just 2. So those are just going to be going for the outside. And the same thing over here. I'm going to do one facing off in this direction. And then another one, if I can. I guess we're going to have to do it facing inside of our base. Or maybe over here. Well, I don't think they're going to attack from over here, but we can definitely try to get it as close as possible. No, can't quite get it right on top of it, but there we go. So it's able to hit people maybe over here if we upgrade it down the road, if they give you that capability, but I think this is going to be fine. These guys are going to be able to do just what I want them to do. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to have my guys over here to protect the area that is still uncovered and still very, very much vulnerable to the elements out there. Alright, you guys still have not built that. What are you guys building? What are they constructing? Anything? Do I have anybody constructing? Let's go to you. Oh, you're constructing a wall still. Okay, so I'm going to let you finish the wall. Now, the wall is going to be one of those really important things. So, you have finished that. You're going to go construct a cottage. Okay. So, you're doing things in the right order. Cottage is going to be very important. As soon as the cottage is done, yeah, I'm going to be going through a little bit more food. I'm going to be going through a little bit more, firewood. But it's going to give me 5 more people, which is going to allow them to come down here and not only build these buildings faster, but then start working in them. And they're going to, get that cotton in there. Now, I do still need to build one more. Let's see, what is it called? Is it in the other construction? I think it might be this one right here. Taylor's Emporium. Sells bolts of cotton from the Weaver Hut.
Not
Okay.
enough resources.
What do I need for that one, actually? 50 leather. See, I told you I was going to need something, and this guy is hunting these animals. He is getting the leather, but just not enough. He needs 50, and I have 47. So that's why I said put one guy in there and get that thing going right as soon as you can. We're going to go ahead and upgrade another part of this. Let's do a sawmill. Get that going. You can only do one at a time in that building. You can do multiple buildings at a time if you want, but I don't have a lot of cash. So I'm going to hold off on doing a lot of those until we get a little bit more going on. Now, another thing you could do is add another warehouse right over here on this corner so that these guys, when they're chopping the stone down or mining the stone, don't have to walk so far to get food, to get, all the clothing and all the meat and stuff that they're going to want to get. They're having to come all the way down here and pick it up from the supply wagon. That may not seem like a far away, but it actually is a pretty decent travel. So, just kind of take that into account when you're deciding where to put things down and how far to take things. I do need to come down here and explore this area a little bit. So let me grab one of these guys. Not all of them, but just one of them. And bring him down here so he can do that.
Away I go.
Because I want to build a wall over here, and I think it's going to go straight across right here. So,
Our village has attracted new settlers.
all right, so we got some new settlers coming in. Let's
A building
see.
has been constructed.
All right, let me click off of that soldier so I don't get him confused. I'm going to tell some people to come down
Training
here.
this person will leave you without any peasants.
All right, so some of the guys have come in, not all of them. Let's look at our civics. People are ultimately still happy. Variety of food, they're kind of not very happy with that. They want a little bit more than that. And you can see I'm about to get another person here in a second. So we got 3 people in there. I need you to go all the way over here. And then I'm going to have you come all the way over here. But guys, I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. This is a fantastic game. It's really cool. I like it quite a bit. It has a lot of in-depthness to it, details that you would not expect when you first take a glance at it. You're just like, oh, this is, a city builder. I'm building a town. And then all of a sudden you get into the buildings and you're like, wow, they put a lot of thought and effort into making these things flow and match up really well. And I'm just blown away just how much this game is growing over time. And the fact that they're listening to the forums, like they're reading what you guys have to say. So if you say, you don't really like that aspect and you wish you could do this, or you wish you could do that, they go ahead and they integrate it into the game. So, you are kind of shaping the game with every single one of your comments. So definitely go to their forums, go onto Steam, hit that like button on their page on Steam. Let other people know about the game, share it, and definitely write a little review. Let people know that you like the game, that you want to see more of it. What you've seen is whatever you want to write in there. It's completely up to you, but it helps out the game. It helps out people finding the game and things of that sort, and I always promote that as much as possible. So as always, guys, I want to thank you all for watching, and I will definitely catch you all next time.